Attention on deck!
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits. You don't do your job, I'll shoot you. You get me?
We get you, sir!
Welcome to the Roughnecks.
Ratchet Roughnecks!
At ease.
Shalom Akim. All praises and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, honors and salutations to you brothers doing the work in truth and sincerity. This video is entitled Counting the Cost. As you can see, which scripture is up. Let me get right into it. This is Luke chapter 14, verse 28. For which of you intending to build a tower sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he have sufficient to finish it? Lest haply after he hath laid the foundation, and is not able to finish it, all that behold it began to mock him, saying, This man began to build and was not able to finish. Or what king going to make war against another king sitteth not down first and consulteth whether he be able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000? Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an ambassage and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he hath, he cannot be my disciple. And it says what it says. Count the cost. And I don't, a lot of guys, I guess, that come in and fall off don't count the cost to be in this thing. There's a hefty price, and for a hefty price is also a hefty reward. Yeah, when you first come in this thing, you count the cost to see whether you're able to make it or not. It's a life or death thing. The next scripture I got lined up is 1 Corinthians 9:16. For though I preach the gospel, I have nothing to glory of. For necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe is unto me if I preach not the gospel. For if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. But if against my will a dispensation of the gospel is committed unto me, what is my reward then? Verily, that when I preach the gospel, that I make the gospel of Yahweh Shai without charge, that I abuse not the power in my gospel. For though I be free of all men, yet have I made myself servant to all, that I might gain the more. So basically, we're a servant to all men, especially the men that's over us. While I'm in this truth, I always think of it like this. As far as being in GMS or an affiliate of GMS, I think of them as the highest tier, or that most prestigious college that everybody wants to get in because they know that they'll succeed if they get into that college, or they know that that's the college to be in. And you can't get into this college unless you are the best of the best, because this college only accepts the best of the best, So you get into this thing and you think that, oh yeah, I got the skills to do it, not understanding that this thing gets harder and harder. You got to push harder and harder just to stay in it. There's a saying called, how'd it go? It's easy to get an A, but it's hard to keep one. So let's put that into Let's put that into perspective. You start off with an A. Let's say you came in this thing, you watched the apostles or what have you, and you got the truth. That once you did that, you entered into a contract and shit, with the Lord. And now you got to preach this word. And now, every year or so, an order comes out that makes it harder and harder to stay into this thing, not realizing what type of battle you in. You got in this thing, you was pretty smart, you was very good at it, very competent, whatever, charismatic, you knew scriptures, could remember, and all that other good shit. But then as time went on, you got comfortable, you kept doing what you was doing, and then something changed, which this truth is always changing. This battlefield is always changing. So you got to keep that in mind, man. You always got to keep changing with this battlefield, because it's going to get harder and harder. Which brings me to the next scripture. This is Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. For the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into the vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give thee. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idly, and saith unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? They say unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He saith unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto the steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from last unto first. And basically the point to why I read this is because we're laborers hired to do a job. No matter what, we're still laborers hired to do this job. So you can't be getting offended because you're not used to the work if you're hired to do the work. We're hired to do this work. And the laborers that hired us, well, the laborer is Yahushua that hired us, but he used men, his servants, to hire us. You come in under GMS, you got to understand this is the most prestigious school to get into, so to speak. The highest tier. So if you came in under them, you got to expect to do more work. You got to expect to do the hardest work. And you're going to, you're going to get the higher reward because, hey, me personally, I believe the Lord is dealing with the apostles of Great Millstone and the men of Great Millstone. That's why the work gets harder and harder, so to speak, because the work really isn't hard. They just expect more to provoke you to greatness, to get you used to greatness and not just, getting comfortable, so to speak, in this world. Not to mention the battlefield is getting to a point where it's going to get more difficult. I mean, understand in this particular battlefield, understand we actually going against a stronghold that these devils done set up, and that stronghold right now is Christianity. You know what type of man it takes to bring down something like Christianity. You can't be worried about nothing else damn near, Let me see. This is Matthew chapter 16, verse 27. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with the angels, and then shall reward every man according to his works. You striving for greatness, like I said, my opinion, because this is what I believe from observation, that Great Millstone has been doing the work and pushing brothers to do the work more and more. So, and every man is going to be get a reward according to his work. If you've been doing bad work or shabby work on a job, your reward is going to be lower. If you're striving to be a prophet, of course your reward is going to be higher, and so forth, and so on and so forth. However, when we get this truth, we entered into that labor contract with the Lord to do this until death or salvation, death or deliverance. So that's what we're supposed to do. However, if you can't do the work that's required of you, do that mean you stop? No, you got to keep going. You strive to be on that great level. I mean, what Apostle Tahar put out the order about 3 videos is not hard to do, and he's only provoking you to love, provoking you to be righteous, provoking you to keep your mind set on this battlefield that we're on, because it's about to come into the bloody parts of this battlefield. Understand, the devil, Esau, this government is ready to cut our heads off, literally. Me personally, I think about things like that all the time. Like, hey, I'm already considered a terrorist, because believe it or not, you in this thing, you already considered a terrorist. You're considered a rebel combatant, and so on and so forth. So literally, we're in a thing that we can get our heads chopped off at any time. We're in this to death or deliverance. You mean to tell me because you have to do more than 1 video a week that you're going to fall out? You're in this till your death, but you're going to fall out for that? Come on, man. That's not the reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of counting the cost to be in this thing. And that's also part of preparing you for the battles ahead, And I think I got a couple more scriptures that I wanted to bring. Well, I guess one more. This is Luke chapter 12, verse 47. And that servant which knew the Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall much be required. And to whom men have committed much, to him they will ask the more. The apostles have been committed much. Matter of fact, they went through most of the bullshit before we even came in it, And once they, proved themselves to the Lord made them the guys. So now they're out, they done taught us, and now they're trying to bring us up as the next guys. Well, actually not even the next guys, the guys that's on their level. Because I believe before this generation is gone, the Lord is coming. The Lord is going to deliver, going to deliver on on his prophecies in this generation. But for you brothers, because a lot of brothers fall out. I done heard a few brothers fell out because of the new order, which is bullshit, It's just 3 videos. If you can't do it, do your best, You might get a less reward, but you in this for death anyway. So keep on doing it and strive to be the best, If you can only do 1, do 1 video, but strive to do 3 to meet the orders that you're meant to do, because we're supposed to do this. And the apostles ain't said nothing wrong. In other words, don't be a nigga, man. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. With that, I'll say shalom.